Welcome to Explained Simply. Let's explore interesting things in the world together. Today let's find out every level of intelligence explained. 1. The foundation. Subnormal intelligence. Subnormal intelligence represents the most limited form of human cognitive function. People at this level may have an IQ below 70, often due to genetic conditions like Down syndrome, brain injury, or complications during development. They usually struggle significantly with fundamental cognitive abilities such as language, memory, and abstract thinking. For them, simple tasks that most people take for granted, like dressing themselves, feeding, or understanding even basic instructions, often require consistent assistance throughout their lives. Their experience of the world is largely immediate and sensory, meaning they respond more profoundly to tone of voice and physical touch than to complex logic or verbal language. Despite these significant challenges, emotional recognition can still be remarkably strong. They often possess an innate ability to sense kindness, fear, or frustration in others, forming deep, meaningful connections. While the prospect of independent living may never be fully realized, many individuals at this level form profound emotional bonds and express joy, sadness, or connection in powerful nonverbal ways. Modern society rightly emphasizes care, respect, and inclusion over outdated or offensive labels. With a supportive environment, clear structure, and unconditional love, people with subnormal intelligence can live incredibly meaningful lives within their unique capacities, enriching the lives of those around them. 2. Functioning independently. Below average intelligence. Below average intelligence encompasses individuals who, while capable of functioning independently, typically encounter difficulties with complex reasoning or abstract thinking. Their IQ scores usually fall within the range of 70 to 85. People in this group may find traditional academic subjects like advanced math, intricate science concepts, or detailed grammar particularly challenging. They often learn most effectively through repetition, practical examples, and hands-on activities, rather than theoretical lectures or abstract instruction. This learning style means they thrive when concepts are presented clearly and concretely. In the professional world, individuals with below-average intelligence often excel in structured environments that offer clear routines and predictable tasks. Jobs involving manual labor, customer service, or caregiving frequently suit their strengths, allowing them to contribute consistently and reliably. While they might not achieve high levels of formal education, many possess strong practical skills, a commendable work ethic, and excellent interpersonal abilities. Socially, they can be outgoing, loyal, and possess a strong emotional intuition, making them valued friends and community members. Unfortunately, this level of intelligence is often overlooked or underestimated by society, leading to missed opportunities. However, with the right support, respect for their capabilities, and an environment that nurtures their strengths rather than focusing on perceived weaknesses, people at this level can live fulfilling, independent lives, raise families, and make substantial contributions to their communities. They flourish when acknowledged for their practical skills and valued for who they are. 3. The majority. Average intelligence. Average intelligence is where the vast majority of people reside, though surprisingly, most individuals tend to believe they are above this benchmark. This level of intelligence equips people with the essential cognitive tools to navigate daily life effectively. Individuals with average intelligence can proficiently read, write, perform basic math, understand and follow rules, and engage in meaningful conversations. They possess a solid grasp of cause and effect, are capable of making plans, and crucially, can learn from their mistakes, adapting their behavior accordingly. This is the intelligence of routines, of forming and maintaining relationships, and of tackling basic problem solving with a functional mindset. If something needs to be done, they usually understand the requirements and possess the capability to get it done. The backbone of society relies heavily on average intelligence. Teachers, drivers, small business owners, nurses, and technicians are all examples of professions where average intelligence is not just sufficient, but absolutely vital for the world to function. It represents a balanced, functional, and adaptable level of cognition that keeps societies running smoothly. However, there's a significant catch associated with this ubiquitous level. It often feels like the end of personal growth. People here are frequently smart enough to confidently believe they understand most things, but not quite sharp enough to critically identify their own blind spots or cognitive biases. They can easily confuse merely being right with being truly informed, and as a result, they rarely feel the impetus to ask deeper, more challenging questions. Because life works adequately at this level, there's a powerful disincentive to push further. This level is stable, yet it can be incredibly sticky, trapping the most people not because they lack the capacity for growth, but because they rarely feel a compelling need to even try. 4. Accelerated thinking. Above average intelligence. Above average intelligence marks a significant shift in cognitive processing, where thought becomes noticeably faster and more agile. Individuals at this level don't just learn, they often seem to leap to understanding, making connections and spotting patterns that others easily miss. They possess an uncanny ability to foresee outcomes, realizing a potential problem or opportunity long before those with average intelligence even perceive its emergence. For many with above average intelligence, the traditional school system may have felt agonizingly slow, repetitive, or even frustratingly simplistic. Conversations can sometimes feel like an endless wait, as their minds quickly process information and anticipate next points, leading to a sense of impatience or being held back. These minds are particularly well suited for theoretical fields that reward deep analysis and logical structuring, such as advanced mathematics, computer coding, various branches of engineering, or philosophy. They genuinely enjoy complexity, are drawn to intricate puzzles, and find satisfaction in understanding and manipulating systems. However, this heightened cognitive ability often casts a shadow. Individuals might see too much, too early, leading to a tendency to talk less, as they are constantly editing their thoughts mid-sentence to simplify them for others. There's often an inclination to fake normalcy, simply to maintain social harmony or avoid having to over-explain their rapid thought processes. This level of intelligence can breed significant frustration, not because they perceive others as stupid, but because the pace of thought and comprehension is simply not fast enough to match their own. If not carefully managed, this high intelligence can paradoxically lead to a high degree of emotional or social detachment. They might find themselves floating above the everyday noise, intellectually superior, but potentially forgetting how to truly engage and be human within it. 5. Intuitive leaps. High intelligence. High intelligence typically refers to individuals with IQs ranging between 130 and 145, placing them within approximately the top 2% of the population. People at this level don't merely learn quickly, they often make remarkable intuitive leaps, frequently seeing solutions or understanding complex implications long before others have even fully identified the problem. A hallmark of high intelligence is their exceptional ability to recognize intricate patterns, think with profound abstraction, and master complex systems with relative ease. In an academic setting, these individuals might effortlessly breeze through advanced material, or independently teach themselves topics that are far beyond the standard curriculum. For their age or grade level, they often find immense enjoyment in logic puzzles, engage deeply in philosophical discussions, and are drawn to solitary research, where they can immerse themselves in challenging intellectual pursuits. Many with high intelligence naturally gravitate towards fields like theoretical science, advanced software engineering, or philosophy, areas that specifically reward strategic, abstract, and deeply analytical thinking. Emotionally, however, their experience can sometimes be one of isolation or feeling profoundly misunderstood. This is particularly true during youth, when their advanced cognitive speed often outpaces their emotional development, making it difficult to connect with peers on a similar intellectual wavelength. Yet, when provided with appropriate support, guidance, and environments that foster their unique abilities, these individuals frequently become powerful innovators and problem solvers, who consistently push the boundaries of what is known and achievable. High intelligence, at its core, isn't just about being smart, it's about possessing the capacity to think in ways that most people can't even begin to imagine, opening up entirely new avenues of understanding and progress. 6. Rare depth and originality. Gifted intelligence. Gifted intelligence is where exceptional ability truly begins to stand out, often marked by IQs soaring above 145. However, it's crucial to understand that giftedness is more than just a number. It represents a fundamentally different way of processing the world. Gifted individuals experience and interact with their environment with rare speed, profound depth, and remarkable originality from a very early age. They may exhibit an astonishingly strong memory, a laser-like focus on subjects that captivate them, and an innate ability to connect broad, abstract ideas across seemingly disparate subjects. For example, A gifted child might teach themselves to play the piano by ear, construct complex machines from discarded household junk, or even write complete novels before they reach high school. Their approach to problems isn't just about finding a solution. They often reframe the entire problem itself, offering perspectives that are unconventional, deeply insightful, and years ahead of their chronological age. This unique cognitive architecture, while immensely powerful, can also come with its own set of significant challenges. These can include profound frustration with the slow pace of standard systems, like school or bureaucracy, a sense of isolation from peers who operate on a different wavelength, or an intensity of emotions that can be difficult to manage. Their minds run fast, but often, so do their feelings. Nevertheless, when these individuals receive the understanding, support, and resources they need, they blossom into the innovators, groundbreaking creators, and profound deep thinkers who relentlessly stretch the limits of human knowledge, imagination, and artistic expression, leaving an indelible mark on the world. 7. Rebuilding logic. Genius intelligence. Genius intelligence isn't merely about possessing extreme smarts. It represents a fundamentally different architectural framework for the mind. Geniuses don't simply solve existing problems. They possess the capacity to rebuild the very logical foundations beneath those problems. They don't just master established rules. They instinctively question why those rules exist in the first place, often identifying their arbitrary nature or inherent flaws. Think of figures like Albert Einstein, whose theories completely reshaped our understanding of physics. Or Srinivasa Ramanujan, who arrived at complex mathematical theorems through intuition without formal proof. These are individuals whose brains don't just run faster, they operate sideways, exploring unconventional pathways of thought. This level of intelligence is the wellspring of true breakthroughs. Entire paradigms shift and old ways of thinking are rendered obsolete when these individuals speak or publish their ideas. Science, philosophy, art, and every major field of human endeavor can be redefined by their insights. Yet, paradoxically, the experience of genius often doesn't feel like a gift to the person who possesses it. Instead, it frequently manifests as profound isolation, operating at the speed of light. Others simply cannot keep up with their rapid and unorthodox thought processes. Established institutions often struggle to accommodate their radical approaches. Even genuine praise can feel like a mistranslation, failing to capture the true depth or nuance of their internal world. All too often, geniuses are initially punished or dismissed before they are ever praised. Deemed too radical, too strange, or simply too far ahead of their time, until the rest of the world eventually catches up. 8. Mastery across disciplines. Polymath intelligence. Polymaths represent a fascinating subset of genius, distinguished not just by profound intellectual power, but by an extraordinary breadth of mastery across diverse fields. While a typical genius might dedicate their life to profoundly advancing a single discipline, a polymath possesses the unique ability to master many, often seemingly unrelated, areas. These are individuals who might simultaneously be inventors, prolific writers, pioneering scientists, and celebrated artists, all within one extraordinary lifetime. Historical examples abound. Leonardo da Vinci, who not only painted masterpieces like the Mona Lisa but also designed revolutionary flying machines and meticulously studied human anatomy. Or Benjamin Franklin, who was instrumental in shaping science with his electricity experiments, contributing significantly to politics and revolutionizing printing. What truly defines polymathic intelligence is a brain that doesn't just absorb vast quantities of knowledge, but actively synthesizes it across various disciplines. Polymaths don't perceive subjects as distinct, isolated silos of information. Instead, they possess an inherent ability to find deep, underlying patterns and connections linking, for instance, mathematics to music or biology to philosophical thought. Their curiosity is boundless, an insatiable drive to understand how everything fits together. And their creativity thrives on this rich interplay of variety. This level of intelligence demands more than just a high raw IQ. It necessitates immense time, rigorous discipline, and a profound, enduring love of learning for its own sake. These individuals often dedicate decades to their pursuits, driven by fundamental questions that no single field can adequately answer. In a world that increasingly pushes for narrow specialization, polymaths serve as a powerful reminder of the immense power and transformative potential that lies in thinking broadly and making unexpected connections across the vast tapestry of human knowledge. 9. Shaping the future. Visionary intelligence. People with visionary intelligence don't merely understand the world as it is. They possess an extraordinary capacity to imagine what it could become. Their intelligence is a potent blend of genius-level insight, profound foresight, and an immense amount of courage. While a polymath excels at mastering and connecting many existing fields, a visionary sees beyond current systems entirely, often perceiving possibilities that defy conventional wisdom. They are the ones who introduce ideas that initially seem utterly impossible, even outlandish, until those very ideas fundamentally change everything. Visionaries possess an almost supernatural ability to connect seemingly disparate dots between science, societal structures, and even spiritual concepts, perceiving an emergent future that others are blind to. They see what the collective consciousness misses, and critically, they then take the audacious leap to actively build that future. This exceptional level of intelligence invariably comes with significant risk. Visionaries inherently challenge established norms, which often leads them to face widespread rejection, endure deep skepticism, and weather persistent doubt from those around them. Yet, they possess an unwavering persistence, fueled by an unbreakable belief in their vision, and an unshakable boldness to execute it. Their unique way of thinking fundamentally shapes entire industries, ignites powerful social movements, and ultimately alters the course of history itself. Visionary intelligence is not just about being exceptionally smart. It is about leveraging that brilliant intellect to actively bend the arc of the future, steering humanity towards new and often unimagined possibilities through sheer force of intellect and will. 10. Beyond answers. Transcendent intelligence. Transcendent intelligence stands as the highest and most profound level of all, moving beyond conventional understandings of cognitive ability. At this pinnacle, intelligence ceases to be primarily about finding answers or solving problems within established frameworks. Instead, it becomes profoundly about awareness itself. Minds operating at this level don't just connect existing dots, they begin to question the very nature and origin of the dots themselves. They possess an extraordinary capacity to see through the illusions of ego, deconstruct complex societal and philosophical systems, and penetrate the superficiality of conventional thought. They perceive subtle, underlying patterns in human nature, recognize cyclical movements in consciousness, and discern the often unacknowledged illusions embedded within identity. Think of figures like Buddha, Carl Jung, or Socrates, not just visionaries who knew a great deal, but individuals who understood why humanity craves knowing, why we construct the realities we do, and what truly lies beyond them. Transcendent intelligence isn't flashy or attention-grabbing. It is quiet, still, and often mistaken for madness by those who cannot grasp its depth. This is because it directly threatens the fundamental structures upon which we build our sense of self, our societies, and our understanding of reality. These individuals do not seek to dominate or control, rather, they tend to dissolve, detaching from ego-driven pursuits. They guide others without pushing, offering wisdom through their very being rather than through forceful articulation. At this ultimate level, intelligence fundamentally stops serving the self, becoming a conduit for universal understanding. Don't forget to support this kind of content by subscribing and watching this other super curious video you'll love.